certainly was a lot of oil smoke or engine smoke at the top end. We're just in the process of covering that. There we go, the call-up lights on the tree, so Chris Wick and he's got a little bit of work to do, but nothing too serious, we hope.
Thank goodness for that. Okay, well, the position's changing, of course, quite a little bit in Birmingham. We have got two men, Richard Lee and Tim Adams, who both run underneath the index. And we both have done good qualifying as well. So the lowest ET that a driver completes on the quarter mile. So we can only give you the ETs that we've got, which are below the index, which of course ordinarily would rule them out from racing. But we do have to know that Richard Lee and Tim Adams have run good qualifying times. We think the number one man is Brian Payton with a run of 9.913 at 134 miles an hour. Then there's Richie Lee and Tim Adams. In what order we're not certain. Certainly Frank Griffin with a 10-second dead run is in number 4 position. Jeff Owen 10.004 in number 5. Phil Druitt 10.008. They're so close, aren't they, these times?
They certainly are, and one of the people you just mentioned out there in the spectator lane, Jeff Owen, as we said earlier, what we like to call a photo opportunity. This car is wild away from the start line.
Whoa, look at that, right out of shape there. James Amana O'Connor, right?
Actually on his car there.
But it's Kurt Hinchcliffe who gets to the top end first. 10.97 has been his best previous time, and he's clicked about a third of a second off there, 10.696 at 122 miles an hour. That's for Kurt Hinchcliffe. So I think that keeps him exactly in the same position as before. It does.
Well, a wild ride though for Jeff Owen, and a little bit slower than he's been running, obviously. 11.13.
Certainly cranked it up again at the top end.
Certainly does. Really good charge on.
134 miles per hour. Here's Mark Flavel back out onto the line. Well, Mark's number 8 at the moment with a run of 10.219 in this Chevrolet Monza, newly painted for this particular racing season. A quick look at some of the details from Mark Flavel. Has run right on the index, 9.907 and 140 miles an hour before. Runs with a big block Chevy engine in there, 431 cubic inches, no nitrous oxide injection. And Mark, of course, comes, as I said earlier on, from up north from Cleveland, where he's into welding fabrication. That's what he does, so that must help a lot when you're building a race car.
Certainly does, and if that's an example of his workmanship, a pretty good welder fabricator.
Well, a little leap across the line and then jump. Very, very well. Best time so far, 10.6 128 miles per hour. So let's wait for the time and speed to come through on the computer for Mark Flavel. It's another 10.04 for Mark Flavel, 0.48. He'll be pleased with that. 128 miles per hour. So that surely moves him up one spot only. These times are so close here at the moment. We've got 3 drivers within 0.08 of a second of one another's time. So that really is quite incredible.
Can I just say Group 4's top fuel bike, competition bike and funny bike need you into the fire-up road now, please.
Okay, Tim Adam back round again in the Langlia in the right-hand lane. Tim Adam from a very famous drag racing hometown, that's Blackbush. And he's a mechanic and welder when he's not drag racing. So again, one of the prerequisites for being a builder of race cars is the fact you can put bits of metal together.
Very much so. Phil Druitt in the grandstand side here on the pit side. He at the moment number 6, 10.008, 133. Really has got very used to that car, and after his Doorslammers experiences has put together a good looking motor and really performing well, and there they go neck and neck. And a good run. It's Phil Druitt that takes the win light in this qualifying session.
Well, a little bit slower than before. He had a 10.008 run before. That time 10.023.
So good consistency though there for elimination.
And Tim Adam, 11.046 at 110 miles per hour.
Brian Huxley down here in the pit lane with the Can-Do car, and Frank Griffin trying to improve his position. Got to run another 10. He'd love to see that 990 come up dead perfect. At the moment, 10-0 dead at 129 miles an hour for him. Crew not happy with something there, just reversing him back, maybe going to go and do another burnout. And that looks as though he didn't really get those tyres spinning in the water. Didn't get them good and hot.
Well, Brian Huxley closes to the control tower, running with an ex-John Mustakis from Florida. Car body is a Colt Saparo. This is what we've got down on here, 2 litre. Another big engine car, 460 cubic inches of horsepower, sponsored by Mobile Auto Doctors of Worcester, is Brian Huxley, and that's his hometown as well. So there you are, he is a motor mechanic by trade. That's the man closest to the grandstand.
So both our cars moving forward into stage. Brian Huxley there just lighting the stage light as Frank Griffin does now, waiting for the green light. Cutting a very fine line indeed there, Brian Huxley. That's the line. Can lean on that. There in the top end.
And a good start there from Frank Griffin as well. Wheels up again. We're seeing all these punching the wheels skyward now. Well, Frank Griffin had run before this a 10.000. A little bit slower that time around.
10.10, but at 131 miles an hour for Frank Griffin. So again, consistency is going to be the order of the day, and a few of our cars really showing that now.
10.526 Brian Huxley, that's his best run of the weekend, 127 miles per hour. So that puts him into the number 11 spot. He was going for a 16-car field here in Supergas. Well, Supergas and Pro Mod side by side this time.
That's it, we got Trevor Hurst in the Hurst and Best Challenger over on the far side, and Ian Merriweather in the Banzai Cobra on the pit side.
Well, Ian Merriweather showing Trevor Hurst.